buyers have been on their heels for the last 4 years, where it was definitely a very strong seller's market for the longest time here. We're finally moving a little bit closer to maybe a little more balance, and we're still technically in a seller's market when you look at month supply of inventory.
I appreciate all of that detail because when you said
Right.
buyers are on their back
They
foot,
have been, yeah.
I was like, my brain was going to tell me, what does that mean? I'm not really sure what you're trying to say, but then you told
Let
me.
me put it this way. In general, sellers have had the advantage for the last 4 years. Now it's shifting a little bit more closer where
A little more
buyers,
balanced.
yeah, a little more balanced.
So statistics are great. And, what we both know and what all of our listeners know, Tego, is that some of the houses, it is not a buyer's market.
That's true.
Right? Some of the properties that are coming to market are the gems, or they're priced right for condition, and we're still having buyers compete for those homes, getting multiple offers, and others, it's more of a buyer's market. When we see a house that's been on the market, I had one yesterday that I showed, and it was 90 days on market, and my clients were like, well, what do you think? And I said, well, 90 days is a long time. It was a luxury home, so it does take a little longer sometimes, although we've had a few luxury properties we represent lately that have gotten interest immediately.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We have the one we talked about last week, that $1,650,000 house really close to our office. We had 7 showings in the first 2 days, and we had about 30 to 40. I heard probably more than 40 groups through during the open house this weekend on Saturday when it was open for 3 hours, which ended up being 4 hours because people kept showing up. So, it just depends on the marketing and the presentation and the pricing and putting the whole package together as to what type of market it is for property. Is it a buyer's market for that house, or is it a seller's market?
Anytime I write something and I say it's a buyer's market or seller's market or shifting this way or shifting that way, as I always say, is you always got to put the caveat out there that every house is different, every part of town is different, every price range is different. It's all different. It just depends.